If you're working with Parker variable speed drives like the AC15, AC20 or the older 690P, you'll probably come across DSE Lite. DSE Lite is Parker's graphical configuration software used to set up and customize drive behavior. In this video, I'll give a quick introduction to DSE Lite to show how the block diagram system works so you can start building drive configurations yourself. If we create a new application file, for example an AC15 version 2, we can choose from several predefined templates. These include auto manual control, auxiliary communications, PID control, preset speeds, raise and lower functions, and a standard block diagram. These templates provide useful starting points and can save quite a lot of time when building an application. You'll notice a grey line across the screen here. We can remove that by going to Print Setup. The layout defaults to portrait orientation, so if we switch this to landscape, the line disappears. Here we can see the main control structure. On the left are the drive inputs, analog inputs, digital inputs, and sequencing logic. These signals are processed through function blocks, which perform calculations or control logic. For example, this value function block is currently summing the analog inputs, A plus B plus C. Skip frequencies are available if you need to avoid resonance in machinery or ductwork. There's also a minimum speed setting which can be used if required. All of these signals feed into the reference block. This section ultimately controls the drive output, determining the frequency and power delivered to the motor. Notice that everything in this section influences the final speed reference sent to the drive. Here we also have an analog output connected to the speed demand. If additional analog outputs are available, these can easily be reassigned. The blocks themselves are fully configurable. You can move them around, disconnect them, and reconnect them to suit your application. This flexibility is what allows DSE Lite to build quite complex control schemes. Each function block also has adjustable parameters. If we double-click a block, we can see the available settings. For example, we can adjust scaling, offsets, and signal types. Inputs can be configured for voltage, current, or other supported signal formats. The value function block works in a similar way. Here we can choose from a range of mathematical operations. Skip frequencies are configured in their own block, and the reference block can easily be edited in exactly the same way. At any point, you can right-click on a block and open the Help page. This displays the relevant section of the manual explaining what the block does and how it should be used. This is particularly useful when you're learning the software. DSE Lite organizes the configuration across multiple pages. In this example, we have 11 pages in total. Moving to the next page, we can see the motor configuration settings. This includes motor parameters and control options such as permanent magnet motor support. Torque limits, current limits, braking configuration, and feedback options are also set here. Volts-Hertz control settings such as boost, user frequencies, slip compensation, and voltage controls are set on the next page, together with the speed loop and drive trip settings. Communication settings are controlled here. The following page contains keypad configuration. You can also create custom operator menus. There are also a number of set point functions available. You'll find preset functions, second ramp settings, and multi-stage speed control. 2 timers and 2 PID controllers are available. Multiplexes can also be configured. There are also many logic function blocks available, and a wide range of value function blocks for calculations and signal processing. On the final page, you'll find the Ethernet IP field bus configuration area. To build your own control scheme, you can insert additional pages if required. For example, from the Edit menu, we can insert a new sheet. This creates a blank workspace. So we now have 12 pages available. Function blocks can be dragged onto this page and connected together to create a custom control scheme. But blocks can only connect to compatible signal types. For example, a digital input cannot be connected directly to an analog function. Returning to page 1, you can see how the main control scheme is organised. You can also add a title block and machine reference. The project can then be printed as a set of drawings if required. The configuration can of course be saved. Once connected to a drive, the configuration can be installed directly. A standard install writes the configuration to the drive. A full install also includes motor parameters, which should only be used if those values are known. You can also extract parameters from an existing drive. This reads the configuration from the drive back into the software. Modern drives connect using a standard Ethernet cable, older drives use an RS-232 connection, and these cables are available from the inverter drive supermarket. DSE Lite also includes several useful diagnostic tools. These include an oscilloscope, chart recorder, and a monitor list for viewing parameters in real time. You can also view module status and other diagnostic information. And that's a quick introduction to Parker's DSE Lite software. In a future video, I'll show you how to build a simple control application using these function blocks. If you're working with Parker drives and found this helpful, please consider subscribing for more practical drive tutorials. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time. This video is for educational purposes only. Always follow official manufacturer documentation and safety instructions.